Hi, I'm Susan, and I lost my passport in Japan. I was traveling in Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and Okinawa. And mind you, Okinawa was my most anticipated place. So what happens is Tokyo goes well. I go to Kyoto. I check in my hotel. They don't ask for my passport. They just let me in. So at the back of my mind, I still have all my things in check. So I finish my Kyoto tour. I go to Osaka. While checking in, they ask for my passport, but I check my handbag, it's not there. So I'm like, I show them a photo. And for some reason, it never even crosses my mind to check my luggage or whatever, because I'm just sure like it's probably somewhere in my bags. Now, fast forward on the day to go to Okinawa, I have a flight and I check my bags, no passport. And I'm just like, how am I even going to get on this plane? But luckily, I was doing a road trip when we reached Okinawa with basically strangers. This one girl from, I think it's Geneva. I always forget where she's from. But she was European and she was working in Tokyo. And then she had two Japanese guys. So we were gonna go on a road trip in Okinawa. So what happens is I tell them, guys, I don't think I'm gonna make it to Okinawa. I can't find my passport. And they tell me it's a domestic flight, so you can just come. Like they're not gonna check your passport. You can just show them your ID. And I'm worried because I'm a foreigner. So, I don't want them to think I'm there illegally or anything like that. But anyways, I go there and I just tell them honestly, like, I don't have my passport with me. Can I use my ID? And they're like, yeah, sure, you can travel with just your ID. So that's fine. I go to Okinawa. Mind you, I am stressed as hell. And this is like the worst possible scenario in my Japan trip because my most anticipated was Okinawa. Like I read this book called Ikigai, and this place, it has like the biggest average of like lifespan, like the longest lifespan, like people get to live there until they're like 90, 100 or something because of the way they live, their community, the things they eat. So I was very fascinated by this place, but now I can't even enjoy that because I'm just thinking I don't have my passport. Anyways, unluckily for me, it's like Friday evening, offices are closed. So then it comes Saturday, Sunday. I can't really call any authorities because it's the weekend. And Monday comes, and guess what? It's a public holiday. And I'm like, oh my God, how unlucky am I? But that's whatever. On Tuesday, the guys, luckily for me, I don't know if you guys know, but not many people in Japan speak English. So you can just expect to call like the police or a doctor or whatever and expect them to speak English. Like some of them do speak, but it's like a gamble. But I was lucky enough because like the two guys were Japanese, so they could speak Japanese. So they helped me to call the police, and then we started tracing back. I contacted the Airbnbs I slept in Osaka, in Kyoto. They told me like they checked, there is nothing. In Tokyo, my Airbnb, she said there was nothing. We contacted the Shinkansen that I took from Tokyo to Kyoto. There's nothing. But anyways, so we're brainstorming like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Like this is like the worst possible scenario ever while traveling. And then like a Hail Mary, one of the four of us, like the three, I honestly don't remember who exactly it was, but one of them suggested to call my embassy. So I call my embassy and a girl picks up. I'm assuming she's probably Japanese. She had an accent. And she just tells me, how can we help? And then I tell her, like, I lost my passport. I was wondering if you had any reports of lost passports. And she tells me, no, we haven't had anything. And she tells me, in this case, I'm supposed to be given a document that will let me travel back to my country, like an emergency document. Mind you, this was not the only destination I'm on. After Japan, I was gonna go to Indonesia in Bali, and then I was gonna go to Singapore because I had 2 concerts booked. It's like all this money wasted, and I already booked my accommodation in Indonesia, I already booked my accommodation in Singapore. I'm just like, this can't be happening. And I'm like, oh my God. So, and she tells me, but because you're like She just tells me like, but I can connect you to the consul. I'm not sure if that's like the ambassador or that's like the head or whatever, but it seemed like this person had high authority. And because he is from your country, you can speak to him, and he can explain to you more. So she connects me to this guy, and he speaks my local language. So that's already a relief for me, because at least there's someone familiar to explain how unlucky and possibly careless I am. And then he tells me, actually, we have a report of her lost passport. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God. But like, why did that girl tell me like there's no report? So I'm not sure if it was like a language barrier or anything. But basically this consul guy tells me, yeah, we have had a report of like lost passport. You're Susan, right? I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm Susan. And she's like, and he's like, we had someone report that they picked up a passport at lockers close to Disneyland. And mind you, I went to Tokyo Disneyland and I did book lockers, because you can book coin lockers. You put your things and then go do your stuff, come back. So it seems like I took it out in the lockers and then I forgot to, like, when I came back, I didn't like pack it back. That's what it seems like, because I do remember taking out some things and just leaving with like a tiny handbag to go into Disneyland, and I left there my bags and everything, because that was the same day that I was going to Kyoto. Like, I came straight from Disneyland to Kyoto. So I'm like, oh my God. And he just basically tells me a nice Japanese person picked it up and took it to their local police. But that's in Tokyo. Mind you, I'm in Okinawa, so I have to fly back to Tokyo. That's extra expenses for the flights. That's extra expenses to book like an accommodation and all that stuff. I'm like, oh. And guess what? I get more unlucky. There's like warnings for, it's not a hurricane. I forgot what you call them, but something like a typhoon, like not a tsunami, but like not flooding, like there's just like crazy winds going on in Okinawa. Honestly, I forgot the term for it, but there were warnings for this, and like a lot of flights were being cancelled, and I was like, oh God, please don't cancel my flight, because yeah. But I couldn't make it because I had already booked a flight for like Thursday to go to like Singapore, and then from Singapore to Indonesia, but I had to cancel both my flights to Singapore and Singapore to Indonesia, and just like go to Tokyo and then book another flight straight from Tokyo to Indonesia. So see how many losses I'm catching. And mind you, like I'm just imagining if I didn't have like extra money, this would have been like worse than it already is. But anyways, I even had to sleep at a hostel for the first time in my life, because I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to, I have to save as much as possible, because I already like canceled flights, booked extra flights, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, yeah. So anyways, I go to Tokyo. Same day I arrive, I take the train and go to my embassy, and then they tell me, they just tell me that after they received that report, they went into like groups of people from my country, on WhatsApp, to ask, do you guys know this person? Or like there's group for like students who are there. They ask like in universities and stuff, and like, because I'm not a university student, I don't know anyone in Japan. I was just traveling, so understandably so, nobody knew me, and yeah, that's why I just didn't get the report or anything. But they give me a document and they tell me that the person who reported this lives in Chiba. Chiba is like so fucking far already from central Tokyo. Actually, so I'm just like more stressed because it's already like in the evening, and they tell me Chiba is too far. You can't go today, you just have to go tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, as long as I'm getting my passport, it's all right. They give me a document that I have to present to the police. And I'm like, okay, thank you guys. So the next day I wake up early in the morning, do my train rides to Chiba, and well, nobody speaks Japanese. It's kind of funny how it all goes, because I'm like speaking English, they're like speaking Japanese, and we're using like Google Translate, and we're using like gestures. Like It was quite hard, but they were really nice and understanding. Like everyone was accommodating. Like they were giving me their apps, their translating apps for me to speak into. And like they were nice, like, but it's just like another point I'm making here, that the language barrier, there's quite a language barrier. So you kind of have to get prepared, use your Google Translate, your language apps, and whatever. But they gave me my passport, and yeah, I got it. I ended up flying to Indonesia the next day, but that was quite the experience. So my advice for you is, if it ever happens that you lose your passport, I would advise to first call your embassy, especially like obviously specifically if you're in Japan, because it seems Japanese people are kind enough to like pick your passport and take it to the police, and the embassy is kind enough to go look around to like WhatsApp groups and whatever. So maybe I was just lucky that I was in Japan, but anywhere you are, first call the embassy. And then, yeah, don't think this could never happen to you. It might actually happen to you. So just be careful. Always check your passport. Don't leave it in the coin lockers like I did. Yeah, if you enjoyed this story, if you want to, hear more similar stories or just like travel tips, I yap a lot about those on this channel. So like the video, subscribe. Bye bye.